What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. Please say hello to my co-host, Cherona. So this is the TLC Weekly Roundup, MILF Manor on the George Mossey Show, Season 1, Episode 8. So remember when I was talking about how I didn't know what was happening on MILF Manor? Well, it makes sense now. So 8 episodes in, one more to go. I understand what's happening. So the true matches that they were talking about like 5 episodes ago and then never brought back up, that's what mattered. So apparently you have to pick someone, they have to pick you back, and then you get to stay in the house and continue your relationship. And if you pick someone and they do not pick you back, you leave the house or the manor completely. You are no longer there. And I was thinking about this because I was like, how many women are going to pick Jose? And it's true, a lot of women did. So Young picked Jose, Kelly picked Jose, and Shannon picked Jose. And we knew Jose could only pick one person. So I knew that he was going to basically clear the house out because he can only take one person with him or home with him or whatever you want to call it. And I was going to say he was going to pick Shannon, and Shannon was very, very sure that he was going to pick her. So the idea that his connection is really with Kelly, were you shocked or did this just solidify what you already believe? Because I honestly was a little surprised.
Honestly, no, because they had just had that night together. I think if they didn't have the night together, I would have thought that he would have picked Shannon. But since they like snuck off and did their whole night, I was like, okay, now he's feeling Kelly again. So I wasn't that surprised. But I mean,
It was just so hard to read him throughout the whole season because he
uh,
made it seem like he was into everyone. I thought he was into me. Like he was into everyone. And it's like he's so good at roping people in. And it was like, geez, Jose, like I honestly believe that you love these women. You look at them and you say how elegant and beautiful and sophisticated they are. And then they all were just left there looking stupid at the end. Like he doesn't even like me like that. And I kind of felt bad because especially Shannon, because Shannon was like, I feel like her connection is more than just a physical connection. It's like a mental conversation. It's like more. And apparently that's not what he was looking for. And I feel like Jose tricked everybody, right? I feel like if
oh
we
yeah.
were watching a magician show, Jose made someone disappear, right? Like he is really good at what he did.
Yeah, he is. I mean, oh, like you said, like I feel like he was in love with everyone.
Mhm.
So it's just hard because I know him and Kelly had the connection in the beginning. And then like Kelly went off on
Mhm.
his mom, and then he was like, okay, I'm not feeling her no more. And then he started feeling Shannon. And he was feeling So Young, and I'm just like, I don't know. He's feeling the trees. He's feeling everything.
Everybody in the villa, no one was safe. So Paula had a huge decision to make because OG Ryan and Jimmy were both into her. And, you know, Ryan, this was his second choice. He was trying to be with Stephanie. We're going to talk about that later. And Paula had to make a decision and she ended up picking Ryan, OG Ryan. I keep saying Ryan. I forget there's 2 Ryans. Were you surprised by that? Because honestly, I thought that she was going to pick Jimmy. So I was a little happy though, because I was like, Ryan has been through a lot and he has had his heart broken in the villa. So I was like, this is actually a win for him because he does put all in. I'll give him that. When he is building a connection with someone, it's all in for that person. And he lost that with Stephanie. So I was happy that it prevailed with Paula because he really was trying to make a connection in this house.
Mm, I feel like I really wasn't that surprised either. Because like even Jimmy said, I feel like I'm not really making that much of a connection with anyone. Like he was making the connection with So Young, but like he was just like, I don't really want to like waste this date or whatever he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like he kind of knew that Ryan like swept her off her feet. I mean, in the beginning, she didn't seem like she was super into Ryan because she wouldn't kiss
Oh, yeah.
him. So that was a little confusing, but I feel like he just like weaseled his way back in, which I'm not mad at. Like he said, like Ryan I feel like he was very authentic and very genuine, and he knows that he wants to be in love with someone. So
Yep.
I'm really happy that he's getting that.
So New Ryan did not pick anyone, and Charlene picked New Ryan because they had just went on that cactus tour date, and unfortunately, Charlene didn't make a connection. But no one was really surprised by that, and she's like, "Yeah, I did come on a little strong, but I still have no issue with Charlene. I think Charlene is an honest woman. She says exactly what she means, and she tells you what she wants. And I think that that's an amazing quality in a woman because a lot of times you'll ask a woman a straight question and she'll not give you a straight answer and you're kind of guessing. So it's like, I respect Charlene. And I guess maybe that comes with maturity. Maybe these guys aren't mature enough to respect her honesty and respect affect how real she is. Because in my opinion, I feel like that's a quality that I would want. Just be honest and tell me exactly how you feel.
Yeah, I think the most shocking thing for me was that Ryan didn't pick Charlene and that he wasn't feeling her because he was feeling her. And I thought that they would have made a great couple. So I was honestly really sad because like you said, Charlene knows what she wants. She's a go-getter, but I feel like in a house of younger men, they kind of still want the chase in the game because that's what they're used to. They're younger.
Sure.
When you get older, people don't want that shit anymore, you know? Like now, I don't know. She needs to find herself a good, sophisticated man that knows what he wants and wants to give her everything. And it probably won't be someone that's in their 20s. Maybe she
Yeah.
should go for someone in their 30s. You know, they're a little bit more experienced and they should hopefully have their lives figured out. So
Yeah, I
we
agree
wish
with
her
you.
the best.
I wish you the best, Charlene. I think you're amazing. Don't change anything about you. Keep
Mm-mm.
being the real, honest woman that you are. There is a man who is going to appreciate the heck out of you. You just haven't met that guy yet. He wasn't in that villa, but that's
Mm-mm.
not your fault. You didn't cast those people in that show. That's not your fault. So the next task is for the new found connections to stand up against friends and family. And I think that's going to be the hardest part because, especially for April Jane's husband, Billy Jane, who we learned when she was engaged to someone else, they were doing a movie. He walked into her dressing room and he took her engagement ring off and put it down and said, "You're mine now." And that's how their relationship started, a 17-year relationship that produced children, twins. And also, they were married for 9 years. So he kind of came in and swooped her off her feet, literally, and took her away from Joey. And she was kissing him, like mouth kissing. So I was
Oh,
just like, I'm trying to understand why April Jane was in the house. If this connection is so strong with her ex-husband, why is he her ex-husband? There's clearly so much chemistry and connection there. And she has children with this man. So it's like there's no reason why she should be in the house making Joey feel like they have some sort of connection when in any moment she was ready to hop up into that man's arms. And I was just like, I feel bad for Joey because he's too young to even know how to respond and react in the situation. He doesn't even know what to do. Like he's still a kid. He's 20 years old. He doesn't even know what to do when a ex-husband and a wife are come together and interact like that because he's never seen nothing like that.
yeah, I think he handled it well. He could have like thrown a fit or like tried to fight him. You know, like what younger kids do sometimes. Like they just like can't control their emotions. So I feel like he handled it really well. But I feel like April didn't handle it very well. Like if that was my ex-husband, what the heck? Like, first of all, do not touch me in front of a potential match. And why is she kissing him?
On
Like,
the lips.
yes, twice. And
No.
not like it's not going to be aired. Like, I don't understand what she was talking about. She's like, who cares if I want to hook up with him? He's my ex husband. So, do you not care about Joey and his feelings and this connection you're trying to build with him? Because you just care about jumping back with your ex husband? Like, I was not into that. I did
Exactly.
not take that. I don't know. I feel like that was very strange. And I did not see that coming from April because she seems so like composed, you know? But I mean, we don't know why they got divorced. There, it could have been he does that to multiple women. We don't really know the
That's
reason,
true.
but like you said, there is a huge connection there still, and I don't know why they're not together if that's the connection that they have.
So we met Paula's daughter Emma, and she is a splitting image of Paula. And Paula was like, "We need to make sure that Emma approves of OG Ryan because if she doesn't, this isn't gonna work." And actually that happened the same with Kelly. Kelly was like, "If my daughter McKenna or Disco Bunny, if she does not approve, then it's not going to happen." And it's like if she doesn't like Jose, if Jose doesn't meet her expectations, then it's not going to happen. And Kelly has 6 kids, and she was like, all 6 of her kids are the most important people in her lives. So even if one of those children are like, we don't like this guy, he's gone. So I think Jose has a lot to prove. And McKenna just put it all out there. She was just like, if I asked you to go out on a date, would you take me out on a date? And Jose reacted correctly. He said no. Anytime something like that happens, I wish guys were more smart. Anytime something like that happens, they're testing you. They don't want you. They just want to know how much of a scum you are. So you passed that test, Jose, but there's more tests. Be very careful. Anna is very smart and she is going to figure it out. She will sniff out whatever scam you are running on her mom. She is smart enough to know what's going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really liked that she is very strong-willed, but she's just like her mom. Like they're literally like twins. I think they're so cute. And I'm glad that she like tried to test the waters like that to see what he's really trying to do, because, you know, they're closer in age. So of course he could try to jump ship and go to her daughter. If he likes Kelly, then he might like her daughter. So I'm really glad that he didn't take the bait, because that would have been really disappointing to me. So, I mean, good job. But yeah, I feel like Jose still's got a lot to prove because we still don't have him figured out.
We don't. And speaking of figure things out, I want to talk about Stephanie and the fact that she picked Gabriel after she told OG Ryan that there was absolutely no romantic connection. It was only a friendship and nothing would come from that. And then she picked him anyway, meaning that there is clearly something going on there. And her best friend Peace, who came there, is trying to get to know Gabe as well. And she's trying to put a method to what's going on, because he's like, oh, I want to know if his values in life, things align. Like, she wants to know if he wants kids, and she wants to know all these things. I was like, weird, because you said there was nothing going on, Stephanie. Because OG Ryan was like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're telling me one thing, you're telling him another. But was Ryan right all along? Because it seems like he was.
Yeah, it really does seem like he was, like I said. And you say he's just a friend. Like, that's all I think about, honestly. But I mean, it's kind of interesting because Gabe kind of did see a little bit more reserved when they were talking with her friend, like about how, like, you know, is it going to ruin our friendship? But you're not on a show to meet a friend. You're on a show
Exactly.
to be in a relationship. So do you want a relationship with her or not? You won her over, obviously. And now you have her, and now you're like, well, I don't really know if this is going to ruin our friendship. Then what did you want? You're sleeping in her bed. You're always hugging her. You're doing all the stuff that people would do if they're going to date each other. You don't act like that with someone you're just going to be friends with, unless it's like the young mentality of like, oh, I just want to hook up with you. And that's gross too.
So thinking that way, what if he ruined what she could have had with OG Ryan by always being around and being there and always making Ryan feel uncomfortable? What if there could have been something between Stephanie and OG Ryan? What if Gabe messed that up all for nothing, because there's nothing even there, because he's not even sure if this is going to take to another level or not? That's another way of looking at it. It's like, what if he ruined her chance with him?
I kind of feel that way, honestly, because I feel like now that he got her, he's like pumping the brakes. He's like, oh no, what do I do now? Like, I just wanted to be your friend, but he didn't want to be her friend throughout the entire season. He's trying to lay in her bed, telling her not to go on the date with Ryan at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be in bed together. They're going to be snuggling, whatever, just acting like that's his girl. And now he's like, well, I mean, is this going to ruin our friendship? Like, what? That is, I'm sorry, but that's just such a strange mentality when you know what you got yourself into, and now it's like, oh, I got what I want. Maybe it was the chase because he's younger. I mean, I don't know. All guys a lot of guys act like that. They want to chase a woman until they finally get her, and then they're like, actually, you know, I'm good.
All right, so at the end, Joey feeling completely ignored and left out by April and Billie Jane, because they literally were in her room spending time together, ignoring Joey's existence. So Emma finds him and she's expressed interest in him. And Emma is Paula's daughter and she's beautiful. And Joey is like, you're beautiful. And she's like, no, you're beautiful. And I was like, whoa, I think I see something building here. And now that he feels like the connection with him and April was all for nothing, because she literally gave him all the attention. He gave her all his attention the whole time they were there. And then she ignored him like he didn't exist. Maybe he's going to actually find love with someone his own age. And I feel like that's perfect for him. And I feel bad for Joey, because Joey literally put all his eggs in one basket. It was all April the whole 3 weeks. So the idea that he feels like he wasted his time, I feel bad for him.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel bad for him. And honestly, I do not feel bad that Emma came up and pursued him, because I mean, look what April did in front of everyone. It made everyone uncomfortable. So the fact that he's taken the bait from her, and she's so beautiful. I mean, not saying that April's not, but like, you know, he has this girl, like you said, closer to his age, beautiful, coming onto him. Why would he say no when April is with her ex-husband kissing him? Like, duh.
Go for it, Joey. All right, guys, we're out of time. So I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. Please follow my co-host, Cherona, too. This has been the MILF Manor Season 1, Episode 8 podcast recap on the George Mossey Show, TLC Weekly Roundup. We'll talk to all of you guys really soon.